I'm going to talk about witchcraft. I don't do that a lot here. I know this account is called 5 Point Society for Witches, but it's a dumpster fire over here. Anyway, I digress. I was just having a conversation with a new witch. And so I now have a question in my mind for folks. Do you not know that you should check out the local plants, flora, fauna, the local occurrence? See what the magical properties are for the things that naturally occur right outside your door. I don't necessarily mean right on your property. Right outside your door, to me, means the region. I live in the Hudson Valley. So I'm talking in general in this area. What's right outside my door? You would avoid conversations like, I don't know what to do with white sage. That's asked and answered 175 ways on this app, but I'm using it as an example. If you're in New York, white sage just isn't growing. It's not a thing, right? It's not a thing. It's not something you could just walk outside and find. People used to come into my shop with like little pieces of paper on their hands, and I would be like, what's happening here? What are you doing? Right? And inevitably I'm like, let me see the paper. Like, what are we looking for? And if, for example, they're standing in my store in New York looking for Abre Camino, and I'm like, okay, let's look for other things that do the same thing. It's just not something you're going to find naturally occurring in the Northeast. So find something that does the same thing, right? You would avoid these conversations about Palo Santo and sage and the like if you just walked outside and utilized what was readily available. I understand city folks, city folks, concrete, really have a challenge in this arena. However, like I said, I'm talking about a region. So it does make it a little more challenging, but you should walk outside and utilize what is outside. I promise you there's something out there for cleansing. There's something out there for protection. And lastly, I will say, if you have a great relationship with a plant, some other item, you have a really great relationship with this tree or this shrub, like you have a great relationship with this plant, check on that plant. Check what its properties are. I promise you there's way more going on right under your nose than you think.